Our first student speaker was chosen by his classmates to represent the Judicial Studies LLM class. Justice Douglas M. Fasciale was sworn in as an Associate Justice on the New Jersey Supreme Court in 2022. He was appointed to the New Jersey Superior Court in 2004 and elevated to the Appellate Division in 2010. He previously practiced law as a trial attorney for 17 years, and in the year 2000 became a certified civil trial attorney by the New Jersey Supreme Court, a designation that was held by fewer than 3% of New Jersey attorneys. He is a first-generation U.S. citizen, a graduate of Seton Hall University, and a member of the American Law Institute. Justice Fasciale.
Thank you and good evening. Tonight, I'd like to tell you a very short story. It's a story about a conversation that my classmates and I had that profoundly impacted us and intensified our experience in the program. Telling you about this story will give me a chance to explain what the Masters of Judicial Studies program is, and it will also give me a chance to make a suggestion to all of you who are about to start your legal careers. Now, the conversation was prompted by a probing question asked by one of our professors at the beginning of the program. At that point, my classmates and I did not really know one another. Our knowledge of the program and one another really came from what limited reading we were able to do about the courses. From our reading of the course material, we knew that our founder, Federal District Court Judge David Levy, was a visionary. Under his scholarship and leadership, we understood that the program offered an intensive and challenging curriculum, a curriculum that covered an array of issues related to judicial institutions, judicial behavior, and judicial decision-making. And we also knew that Duke Law School is the only law school in the nation that offered this unique advanced degree for judges and justices, federal, state, and international. We also knew a little bit about one another. We knew that we were a diverse group of 19 justices and judges. We knew that we were accomplished. We were on the bench for many, many years. We were at the top of our game. And we had one thing in common. We were thirsty for knowledge. We were magistrate judges, federal district court judges, state trial court judges, intermediate court of appeals judges, Supreme Court justices of various states, and international judges. And we looked forward to meeting one another as we arrived from Poland, from Mongolia, from New Hampshire, from New Jersey, North Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, South Dakota, Missouri, Kentucky, and Colorado. Now, I can bond, and my classmates can bond with all of you. We can bond over what it's like to be cold called. Now, I can tell you that my classmates and I, we had not been cold called for a long time before this program. Usually, we were the ones who would ask the questions, not be asked the questions. So I did the prudent thing. I joined a study group that was made up of superb justices and judges. One was a New Hampshire Supreme Court Justice, Jim Bassett, and the other was my good friend, Jack Sabatino, who sits with me on the New Jersey Supreme Court. We were entirely ready for the class. We were totally prepared to answer any questions. I think I can say with great confidence that I was relatively ready, but well, between us, I wouldn't tell anyone up here on the stage. I was terrified. And then came the question. The question was asked by our race and civil rights professor. I'll paraphrase the question. He asked us, he said, how would you describe yourselves? How would you describe yourselves? Now, he removed the mystery of whether any one of us would be cold called by telling us all that we were all going to have to answer the question. And like you, we did our classes our first semester by Zoom. So we went around the Zoom screen. We talked about where we were born, where we lived, where we grew up. We gave our life experiences that were funny and sad and challenging and interesting and motivating. And we included our cultural backgrounds, our races, our ethnicities. And we began to peel back the layers and describe who we were at our core, in our hearts, in our guts. But then the genius of the question was finally revealed. The question was not intended just to have us share our backgrounds. The question magnified the lens through which we saw one another. We no longer looked at each other with the impressions that we had going into the class. We then began to look at each other as described by one another. And it was incredible. We took time to listen to each other, to learn from one another, to appreciate what each person brought to the table. We forged strong friendships that I'm convinced will be lifelong. Now, looking back on it, that discussion reminds me, as lawyers and judges and justices, that we should never forget that relationships matter, that each person has value, that we play a vital role in our well-being, that we impact everyone that we meet, and, very importantly, that we have much to learn from one another. And indeed, that's exactly what we did in this Masters of Judicial Studies program. We are grateful for the opportunity to have been through it. We thank Judge Levy for his leadership and vision. We thank our director, Federal District Court Judge Paul Grimm. We are very, very grateful for our spectacular Duke Law professors who gave us the tools to be better judges and lawyers, who unleashed in us the best that we had to offer, and who motivated us to learn not just during the classes, but to this day and into the future. We thank the judges and the lawyers who traveled from around the country to lecture to us. We are very grateful to our program manager, Ann Yandian, for taking us through, flawlessly every detail of the program. And we are also especially grateful to the Bolch Institute for giving us this unique educational opportunity to examine how we can improve and advance administration of justice and rule of law principles. So now the suggestion to the other students who are graduating tonight. I told you the story about the discussion for one reason. I want you to remember, as you start your careers, you all have so much to give. Use your skills, use your specialized training to make a difference in the lives of others. But do it with intentionality. Get to know them not only through your eyes, but through theirs. And you will see, like we did, that it will transform you and it will transform them. So on behalf of my classmates, congratulations to all of you.